there has been a lot of pain between the two of us, especially the last 6 years.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how shocking is it when family secrets come crashing down? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about a royal bombshell that left Prince Harry completely devastated. And it all leads back to one thing: a DNA test. For years, there have been quiet but persistent rumors about Harry's real parentage. The world couldn't help but notice he looked a little different from King Charles, especially with his bright red hair. While some blamed it on Princess Diana's side of the family, others whispered that something didn't add up. Stories linking Diana's former lover James Hewitt to Harry never went away, even though timelines didn't exactly match up. Still, the physical similarities kept the rumors alive. Harry grew up surrounded by speculation. Even cruel jokes from inside the palace hinted at the doubt around who his real father might be. And now, after years of carrying that silent burden, private DNA results have reportedly confirmed a truth far darker than Harry could have imagined.
We had a very similar traumatic experience, and then we dealt with it two very different ways.
Since the day Harry was born, people inside and outside the palace noticed something different. While Prince William seemed to mirror King Charles with his blonde hair and familiar royal features, Harry stood out. His bright red hair, the rounder face, and even his energetic spirit gave him a different presence. It didn't take long for the comparisons to start. Whispers floated around quietly at first. Could Harry really be Charles' biological son? At the time, most dismissed it as nothing more than cruel gossip. After all, families have a mix of traits. But as Harry grew older, the differences became harder to ignore. His red hair didn't fade like childhood hair often does. It stayed fiery, even as he stepped deeper into royal life. And with every public appearance, the rumors gained more ground, especially as royal insiders, press members, and even casual observers pointed out that Harry just didn't seem to fit the mold. At first, it seemed like harmless talk, the kind of gossip that floats around every famous family, but behind palace walls, it was a different story. Insiders say Harry wasn't deaf to the rumors. He heard them and he felt them. And as he moved through childhood into adulthood, the quiet chatter only got louder. So did the pressure he carried silently on his shoulders. Supporters of the official royal story were quick to defend Harry's appearance. They pointed to his mother's side, Princess Diana's family, the Spencers. Diana's brother, Charles Spencer, had red hair too, a vivid shade when he was younger. Diana herself had hints of auburn in her lighter hair, especially in her youth. Even Diana's sisters carried strong Spencer features that could explain Harry's looks. In fact, Diana's former hairdresser once publicly stated that Harry's red hair was a Spencer trait, recalling how Diana's brother's hair lightened with age but was once very much red. According to those close to the family, the Spencer genes were strong enough to show up in Harry without needing any scandalous explanation. It made sense on the surface. Families often pass down unexpected traits, but if it was really just genetics at play, why didn't the rumors stop? Why did the same questions keep getting louder as Harry grew into adulthood? Part of the reason was a man named James Hewitt.
Prince Harry took the stand in London's High Court after his Monday absence to share his testimony in the phone hacking case against Mirror Group Newspapers Limited. In new shocking details, Harry even addressed speculation that he's the biological son of Major James Hewitt. The former royal family member appeared on June 6th at the London's High Court to share his statements on the impending legal trial. Detailed in the statement, the former royal family member references a December 2022 article published by the People titled "Plot to Rob the DNA of Harry." As Harry notes, the article reported a, quote, plot to steal a sample of my DNA to test my parentage. He also goes on to say, numerous newspapers had reported a rumor that my biological father was James Hewitt, a man my mother had a relationship with after I was born. He wrote, at the time of this article and others similar to it, I wasn't actually aware that my mother hadn't met Major Hewitt until after I was born.
James Hewitt was a former cavalry officer and skilled horse riding instructor who eventually became closely tied to Diana. Their affair wasn't a secret for long. It exploded into the public eye and became part of royal tabloid history. Diana herself admitted in interviews that she loved Hewitt deeply during a painful period in her marriage to Charles. Both Diana and Hewitt insisted that they didn't even meet until after Harry was born. Diana reportedly met Hewitt in 1986, while Harry was born in 1984. According to them, there was simply no way Hewitt could be Harry's biological father. But for skeptics, that timeline didn't seem so airtight. They believed it was possible Diana and Hewitt's connection started earlier, something both sides always firmly denied. What made it harder to put the rumors to rest was the visual comparison. James Hewitt, with his red hair, tall athletic build, and easygoing charm, looked uncannily similar to Harry in a way that people just couldn't unsee. Every time Hewitt appeared in public, side-by-side photos with Harry flooded the media, fueling suspicions all over again. Even decades later, when Hewitt was asked about the rumors, he firmly denied being Harry's father. Yet the public's doubt never truly disappeared, and with DNA tests now entering the picture years later, old wounds and questions have reopened with even more force.
It was never a case of, I don't want to talk about it with you, I just don't know how to talk about it. I never ever thought that maybe talking about it with my brother or with anybody else at that point would be therapeutic.
Behind the polished palace image, Prince Harry was not protected from the ugly rumors swirling around him. Even inside the royal family, those whispers found their way to him. According to Harry himself, King Charles wasn't always sensitive about it either. Harry recalled moments where Charles would make jokes about whether he was truly his son. Sometimes Charles would laugh and say things like, "Who knows if I'm even your real father?" For any child, comments like that would sting. But for Harry, living in the royal spotlight and under constant public scrutiny, it was something far worse. He wasn't just dealing with the normal struggles of growing up, he was carrying the unspoken fear that the man raising him might not actually be his biological father. It planted seeds of doubt deep inside him, seeds that only grew stronger over time. Now imagine spending your entire childhood and young adulthood trying to live up to royal expectations while secretly wondering if you truly belonged. It's no surprise that Harry carried this emotional weight for decades, and while he kept a brave face in public, joking, smiling, playing the role of the fun prince, behind the scenes he was grappling with a silent identity crisis that few people ever knew about. Still, despite everything, Harry stayed silent. He didn't challenge the rumors publicly, he didn't confront them head on, but the questions didn't leave him. Over the years, they just grew louder inside his own mind, until finally, Harry decided he needed real answers, not more jokes, not more speculation. That search for the truth pushed him to take a bold and personal step, one that would change everything. Away from palace handlers, away from the public eye, Harry reportedly arranged for DNA testing in secret. He wanted clarity, no more rumors, no more guessing. And when the results came back, they confirmed what many had feared for years, news that rocked Harry's world to the core. According to palace insiders, the DNA results suggested that King Charles might not be Harry's biological father. While exact details were kept under tight wraps, the emotional impact was undeniable. Harry wasn't just hurt, he was shattered. Everything he thought he knew about his life, his role, his family, it all crumbled with that one revelation. But the fallout didn't stop there. It wasn't just an internal crisis. Harry's already fragile relationships with Charles and Prince William suffered even more after this discovery. Before the DNA bombshell, Harry's connection with his father and brother had been strained. There were tensions over royal duties, media battles, and personal choices. But after learning the truth about his parentage, Harry reportedly felt even more isolated. At family gatherings, insiders say Harry was often ignored or sidelined, treated like he didn't quite belong anymore. Even during major royal events, the distance between Harry and the rest of the family became impossible to ignore. It wasn't just about disagreements anymore. It was about a deep feeling of betrayal and abandonment. Harry wasn't simply stepping away from the royal family because of media pressure or public criticism. The hurt went much deeper. When Harry and Meghan finally announced they were stepping back from royal duties, the public explanation focused on tabloid harassment and their desire for privacy. But for those who knew the full story, it was clear the decision to walk away wasn't just about outside pressures. It was also about an internal break that had been building for years, fueled by a truth too painful to live with inside palace walls.
I don't think that we can ever have peace with my family unless the truth is out there.
In a twist of fate that even Harry himself probably couldn't have predicted, the red hair that once fueled years of rumors has now shown up again in his own children. Both Archie and Lilibet inherited that same signature shade, a powerful reminder of the Spencer bloodline that runs through them. For many, this is seen as simple proof that the red hair was never a mystery at all. It was a family trait, passed down from Harry's side of the Spencer family, the same fiery color seen in Diana's brother Charles Spencer, and others in her family tree. In Archie and Lilibet, the Spencer legacy lives on, clear as day. But for Harry, it's probably more complicated than that. Seeing his children's bright red hair might be a beautiful link to the mother he loved and lost, but it could also stir up old wounds. It's a bittersweet reflection of the identity questions that haunted him for so long. On one hand, it's a source of pride, a living connection to Diana. On the other hand, it's a painful reminder of the doubts, the rumors, and the emotional battles he fought growing up. Still, despite everything he's been through, Harry seems determined to create a different kind of legacy for his family, one rooted not in secrecy or whispered doubts, but in openness, honesty, and healing. His journey away from the palace wasn't just about physical distance, it was about protecting his children from the cycles of hurt that shaped his own life. The truth is, most people will never fully understand what it means to grow up inside royal walls, or the loneliness that comes from carrying a secret that big. Harry's story isn't just about scandal, it's about survival, about finding peace when the world you were born into refuses to let you forget the past. What do you guys think about Prince Harry's DNA revelation? Was it fair for him to carry this burden for so long? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that reveal the truth behind the crown.